It is almost Christmas right now, and I will just like to make a fast little update on my current status. And right now, in this moment, the sailboat Miss Otto is in the Caribbean. From the last video I made, they sailed on the east side of Denmark and then down to I think it is called the Keel Canal, and then they sailed across down to the Netherlands, and then I think they was also around England, and then down to France, and also over the passage there, the Bequia, and then down to Spain. But one of the problems they ran into was there was some attacks from these big fishes. I think it is, or they are called orcas, and they was very afraid that these big whales or fishes would attack their boat, because until now the fishes or whales had attacked some boats, and they have eaten their rudder, so that was not very good. But then from the Spain area with all the whales, they sailed further down, and down to I think it is called the Canary Islands, and they were there for some weeks, and then they sailed down to Cape Verde. That is further down by Africa and the area there. And on the passage they had some errors with the boat. The first problem they had was they had a leak by the port lights, and there was pouring in a lot of seawater. So that was of course not the best thing, but I think I also mentioned the leak problem in my last video. It is simply because the way the port lights is designed is that they have a problem where they will leak around in the edge, and the reason for the leak is simply because the way the port light is made. I don't think it is the same port light type, but as you can see, it is attached here, and on Bavaria there is some foam tape, and over time it will then disattach from the surface, and it will then create a leak. One fix to the problem is to just tighten up the port light here from the other side. But as you also have seen in one of my videos, I remove a port light. It is of course on the top, and I then put on some butyl sealant and then re-seal it. I think when I get my new boat, I will of course also have the same problem. But you can spot the leak on the inside if you look at the wood, and it will then pour down on the inside. One of the Bavaria boats I have an eye on right now, I can see with the clear eye that there is pouring in water. So that is of course not so good. The Bavaria I have an eye on is of course right now it is very expensive compared to the normal price on this Bavaria boat size. Over here we have a Bavaria 36, and that is also a very nice size, but I'll choose the 39 footer simply because I want a boat that is around 40 foot. When he bought the boat, there was a lot of rust on the keel here, but a bit fun to see that when you attach a zinc anode, it will not rust at all. So that is pretty impressive, I will say. So maybe an idea on the next boat. As you know, the keels here has the problem that they will rust. It is actually pretty fun to see the difference in the different years of the Bavaria boats here. Here we have a Bavaria 36 from I think it is around 2004, and as you can see we have some rust on the keel as on my boat, but the boat here is also built almost the same time. But over here we have a much older Bavaria, Bavaria 34, and this design here is built, or when they made the boat much better. And as you can see, there is actually no rust on the keel here. The keel type here is of the bulb type, which means you have the bulb there, and then you have the rest that is of course iron. But yes, Miss Arthur sailed to Cape Verde, and they then stayed there for again some weeks, and they had some small problems with the boat, but it was a pretty easy fix. But another problem they had was they broke something on the mast, and it got fixed on Cape Verde, but it then broke again on the passage to the Caribbean. But I don't know why it broke, but maybe it is a weak point on this boat type. I don't know, but I will of course look into what had happened there. Regarding me and my boat, or my next boat, I'm of course still at the paperback factory, and right now it is of course almost Christmas, so the sales of boats is pretty low. And as mentioned, there is a Bavaria 39 for sale right now, but it is way too expensive. The other problem is that it of course has the leak by the port lights, and the other problem is that the engine is the small one. The boat is made in two different versions, or you can get the boat with two different engines. The small one, there is 40 horsepower, and the big one, there is 55 horsepower. and I think I will go for the big 55 horsepower. Simply because it is better that the engine is bigger, and I don't need to use so much throttle when I am sailing in strong winds and currents and so. It is because if you need to go somewhere and the engine is too small, it is very, very hard to sail against the current and so. And when I anyway is buying a boat, then I can, it is better to buy the big engine. Regarding money, I right in this moment have all the money for the new boat. So the extra money I earn is of course also put aside to improvements on the boat, and also for the future ownership of the boat. It is also, as mentioned, best to put some money aside every month. So there is always something that must be fixed on such a boat, and very nice to have the money for the small projects, as for example new sails and canvas and so. A bit funny, there is no one on my old spot here. There is actually pretty empty. So, but again, a bit funny to be back at the sail club here. There is some new boats in the area, but there is also a lot of the old ones. It don't seem like that Costa is out of the water this year. Costa has the lagoon catamaran over there, and it looks pretty frozen. And the water is also pretty frozen again this year. As you can see, there's pretty much ice all over the sail club area here. So pretty wild. Right now there is actually two groups of people. There is in the Caribbean area. There is of course Miss Otto, Jan and Josefine, and there is also a lady from the sail club here. There is with another boat in the Caribbean area. She is called Tina, and over there we have also a boat that will go to the Caribbean in the future. It is of course Costa's Lagoon 38 catamaran. I have not talked with him for some time, so I don't know how long he is in his plans regarding sailing away. But I think it is his plan to leave at some point. But until now, it is of course winter and pretty cold here in Denmark. And I know Jan and Josefine is of course, or has of course just arrived at the Caribbean, and they will then do some island hopping with again a new crew. And I think when the season is around the end, in the Caribbean, they will then sail into the Panama Canal and then sail forward onto the other side around India and the sites over there, Hawaii and so. And I think it will be very exciting to follow their journey. So, some of the things I am pretty interested to know is, of course, what is breaking on this Bavaria 50. Also to prevent the same faults on these boats here. I also know that they had a water boiler that was leaking, but I know these water boilers is they always leaks over time. So I think the fault is not the boat's fault. So but the problem with the hatches and the port lights is, of course, a normal fault on these Bavaria boats. Also, why I am very I observate the leaks by the port lights and so, because I know they will happen at some point. I hope you have enjoyed my little update video here, and I will of course be back with more information and a video again when I look and find my new boat. So see you next time. Bye.